Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. I said, let me hop in on here and talk to y'all while I'm in traffic. I said from one destination to the next. So I'm on live now. Y'all get me to my first destination. We'll drop that off. And then I'm going to go back live to get to my second destination. The traffic is ridiculous this morning. So, yeah, why not, right? Well, why not? It's nothing like chatting with y'all and stuff. So, you see the title of this live, and I was really thinking about it as I'm making these videos going down memory lane. Certain things like really just stood out to me. Like I said, that video I just, well, not just posted, but anyway, went up yesterday, last night, the latest one. Hey, Tonique Skincare, how are you? So that video last night was showing where they had like a Sunday dinner at Peach's mom's house. So Johnny May was there, which you guys know that is, well, if you don't know, that is Tracy's grandmother, and that's who Peach has recently been calling Johnny Ho. Peach says Johnny Ho will sleep with every man in the church, married men, young men, YNs, old men. It doesn't matter. Johnny May, her grandmother, is Johnny Ho. So in that video last night, when I was watching it, when I was making it, and then when I posted it last night, I was like, wow, there was really that point in 2020, this video was made. There was some, you could tell there was some beef between Johnny May and Peach McIntyre. You could tell Johnny May didn't put up with Peach McIntyre's bullshit. That's what it sounds like to me. You weren't going to get away with everyone. Your mammy or mother might have spoiled you and, went along with everything. But Johnny May, you going to sit your behind down. It was old school back then. It was different. And this is why Black history is important in the schools, because you have to know the history of where your family came from and understand their struggles. Like when I look at my parents and grandparents, my grandparents were from Alabama. They moved to Pensacola on my daddy's side. They sent all three of their boys to college. My dad, he passed away this year. His brother passed away like last year. He was a pharmacist. My dad was a civil engineer, structural engineer, doing big things. They raised their boys. But there were some other demographics that weren't like that. My grandparents were married and everything, but then you go to my mother's side, grew up on the east side of Jacksonville, Florida. My mother is the only one that, out of all her siblings from her mother, that went to college. My mom has her doctorate's degree. A lot of my mom's siblings, she has, her dad wasn't really in her life. It's just different things. But I respect it because I understand what my grandmother, she might have made some bad choices on my mom's side, but what she had to do, making $3-4, cleaning up after certain people, not able to go on certain sides of town, they didn't have the opportunities that we have today. They didn't have those opportunities. And you have to be thankful for what they fought for you, Peach McIntyre, to be able to go in Lakewood Ranch Library, for your kids to be able to get equal education. It wasn't pushed then. But I didn't realize, she makes it seem like Johnny May didn't work and Tracy didn't work. She was basically saying last night, Johnny May worked 27 years in the cafeteria. Now, you at this time might not think, oh, that's ideal because you have arrived and you are the one. But 27 years back in the day, Johnny May like 55. So my mom is older than Johnny May. But they just had that, oh, God. And yes, they could have made bad choices. Yes, Johnny May might have been sleeping with everybody's man in the church or whatever. But she worked and she tried the best she could to provide for her children. You make it seem like you came from a line of sloths, a line of slow motherfuckers, like you say, that don't like to work. You come from a line of working women. A line of working women. They didn't put up with shit from a man. See, in your mind, you have got so caught up to prove everyone wrong that you are different from the line that you come from. So you want to shout out and say, I don't work, I work, I'm the provider, and my kids, my husband. You want to say that. But when you were working, obviously you were staying at, when your mom was working, you were staying at Johnny Mae's house. So now you're mad because you say your mom didn't spend any time with you, but she was working the same shit you're doing, sitting in that damn closet, right? Working, not spending time with your children, justifying working. And then you talk about your mom doing her kingpin stuff. Like, I'm not even trying to justify it, but back then they were making like $4, $5, $6. I know when I moved from to Florida, I was shocked when I went to Tallahassee and I got my first job in college. I worked in high school. I worked for Bloomingdale's. I grew up in Jersey, in the suburbs. I worked at Bloomingdale's. I was making $10 an hour in high school, and this is 2002, 2003. So when I moved to Florida and I was making $6, no, $5.35. Huh? What? What? Where'd I do that at? Oh, wait a minute. No, it's different, but you respect the hustle. You respect the struggle that our parents in the South, that the culture went through. And this is why Black history is important in the schools. This is why. Because basically, you're taken away from your grandmother, Johnny Mae, being able to work in the school system. Remember, y'all got to remember, let's look at when segregation really stopped. And come on, it was stopped in the books on black and white. But you already know, when I was traveling down here to visit my grandmother, it was so segregated. And I'm talking about the 90s. Even when I would come back from Tallahassee over to Jacksonville, it was still segregated in 2000. Black people felt they could not go to certain sides of town. My generation moved back, and we have education. My generation, 40, have education, or most of the Black males in Jacksonville work for the port or truck drivers, because education was just not pushed in the South. Like, it was a difference. And you have to know your history. You really got to understand so you can respect that. You can't even, you go in a job just because you're Black, they're already not giving you the interview. You couldn't hide it and fill out an application online. No, you had to go into the job and ask for a paper application. And then people would take it and ball it up. They wouldn't even consider your skills. Why do you think certain programs were started? Know your history, you ignorant ass. And you're raising all these Black boys that you gave these ignorant ass names to, talking about some, because you guys are raising your children up to be workers. Bitch, you are not a Kardashian. You are not Northwest. You are, come on now. That's where you done lost your damn mind. You gave your kids some progetic names. Okay. Progetic names, and period. They can be affirmations all you want. They are affirmations. But when it comes to a name, they are progetic names on paper. Let's be real. Let's put it through human resources. If y'all see an application come through where it says gorgeous purpose, y'all gonna be like, what the hell was this mama on? We know this child had a rough upbringing. God dog. Judgment has already passed. Judgment has already passed. But to sit here and down Johnny Mae and call Johnny Mae Johnny Ho and Johnny this and Johnny that, when you don't understand the struggle 60 years ago that African Americans were still experiencing in the state of Florida. Know your history. Know your history. Okay, them damn names crazy. Gorgeous purpose. McIntyre Underwood. What the hell? Purpose with a choice. What? Amazing, wonderful. Huh? Wonderfully amazing. What the hell? What? What? And then if you working them, raising them up, training them up to be self-employed, shouldn't you be creating that lane for them? Or what? They're just going to be content creators. They're just going to be content creators. Yeah, she set her kids up to fail. She did. And then she loves to say, well, people name their children Apple. Yeah, and Apple's dad probably owns a landscaping business, tree cutting business, a lineman. Mom is a nurse. They're thinking about opening up an IV therapy place so Apple can run it. So what are you doing so Gorgeous Purpose does not have to go in and fill out an application? What are you doing so McIntyre Underwood does not have to fill out an application? What are you doing so amazing, wonderfully amazing, whatever, you don't have to fill out? What are you doing so these children don't have to fill out applications? Since we all are raising our children up to be workers, which is so ignorant. I'm so sick of that rhetoric from people in their 30s and 40s. We still need employees. You still need doctors. You still need speech therapists. You still need physical therapists. You still need nurses. So education matters. You need police officers. You need judges. And the more we try to talk our kids out of that, you're going to be your own boss. You're going to be your own boss, which you still can be a doctor, a lawyer, and everything and be your own boss. But education matters. Education matters. You can't say, oh, I can't find the doctor that looks like me, but you're preaching to your children. No, you don't need that. You're not going to work for the white man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right? There's no work ethic and no values. My son is level 3 autistic in the spectrum. He already knows his chores. You read 2 books a night. You do a math worksheet. You work on your spelling words. You have chores. That's your job. School education is your job. Mommy got the rest. Boom. Let's do it. Also, I think I'm going to cover, because I'm about to be at my destination. I just have to run in here and my phone loses signal when I get close to this area. But I'm going to reset and I'm going to come back live, because another thing about when you're on section 8, knowing history, and this is why it's a shame when people talk about, oh, black children have to start paying bills, when she talks about that, which goes on in the hood. But you need to understand, if you're not committing fraud when you're on section 8, you have to report the income, correct? So when a child, whether they're 16, 17, and of course when they're 18, that's why a lot of black people push their children out. They don't know why they push them out, but mentally, oh, you're 18, you got to go, because that income is going to mess up for the younger children. So yes, mom might say, hey, you're going to have to start paying your cell phone bill, because now I'm not getting stamps for you. You're no longer, you decided not to go to college. You're now no longer, it doesn't count. So I don't get stamps for you. Your income is counting. So I'm going to need you to help. That is the reason why, knowing your history, it's a setup. Our children go to school tired because our children are working at the age of 13, 14, 15, while when you go to certain predominantly white areas, those kids are working maybe 16, 17, not really working. They're in extracurricular activities and stuff like that. Know your history and know your environment, and you praise those kids. You let them know. You keep going. Anytime I go through a drive-through and I see a child working after 6 p.m., I tell that child, I pour into that child. This is not the end for you. This is not the end for you. You keep going. When are you going to start applying for college? You pour into those kids when you see them. She don't want to do that. She doesn't want to do that. That's why I say it's more than just, being a mom. You raise and train your kids. What she tries to tell people she was doing. When you go back and look, yes, Peach was very sweet in 2020. She was a different person, but she was a hood chick. She was a hood chick. And yes, she had a sparkle in her eye. She wanted more. She did. I'm not going to take that away from her. But you went about it the wrong way. You went about it the wrong way. You were able to do more at the casino. You were able to buy wood. You didn't boss up. You didn't boss up. And now here we are. Here we are. The kids can't even talk properly, and she's not interested in teaching her own kids. No, they can't. She's not even going to speech therapy. But watching those videos, hearing how Johnny, just the different ways, Ed can't even speak properly. He stutter, he can't read really. Reading the comments, if you watch him on live, reading the comments throw him off, and he will tell, hold on. He tries though, but reading them down, they be ripped down. He can't do it. Poor. Oh, that's why I know they are taken out of the schools in Florida. This is why it's important to know. Keep going. But if your mother didn't break it, you doesn't down your mom, your grandmother, anyone. Why? Steve Furtick always says you don't get mad. You in your heart say, dang, what was going on that made Johnny Mae with them married men? Johnny Mae might have been making $2. Tracy dropping off all these kids. She got other grandkids. It's a lot going on. Come on now. It's a lot going on. No, she can't stick to anything. She's so dysfunctional. But I'm about to come back, y'all. Well, I'm gonna leave it right here and I'm gonna see if it keep on. I'll be right back. Y'all let me know if y'all can still hear me because we got 81 people in here. I don't want to reset, but if we can get people to like the video, you guys tell me if you can still hear me. I'll be right back. I just have to run in. I'm gonna be right back. Let me know if y'all can still hear me because I'm at the place where I don't get no signal. I gotta get my ID. Let me know if y'all can hear me. They must can't hear me. Oh, bless you guys. You look cute today. I like that outfit. Look good on you. Okay. All right. Take your time eating your food, okay? You got our spelling word? After school, I think it's. Can y'all hear me? Yes, we can still hear. I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to run him into school. We just left therapy. We had a therapy appointment this morning. I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. Yeah, we had. Whew, I'm trying to get him to do therapy in the morning so I can get more hours at work because we can get there at 8. And then he only misses 30 minutes of school. So he only misses 30 minutes of school when we do it this way, which is a lot better than him missing 2 hours in the afternoon for like a 2:30 appointment, because a 2:30 appointment I have to pick him up by 1:15. Mm-mm. So I'm back. Let me know y'all can still hear me. Let me know. No, good morning, good morning, good morning. No, and Kay, back to she can't stick to anything. I think I'm gonna have to reset. Okay, let me know if y'all can hear me. Somebody type yes if you can hear me. Good morning with love and grace. Okay, yes, good. So back to her not sticking with anything. Y'all, in 2020, do you know she was on a weight loss journey then as well? She was on a weight loss journey in 2020 as well. So she has been trying to lose this weight and do everything, and the struggle is real.